Hey everyone, Dom here, and today I'm going to show you 5 delay mixing tips that you should definitely know about. These techniques will make your delays stand out, allowing them to blend better in the mix, and the only thing you will need to achieve them is one single plugin in Cubase. Let's get started. Let's jump straight into the first delay tip that I want to show you in this video, and this might be one of the most recognizable modern delay sounds that you get in modern productions, and this is the 4-man shifted delay, and this sounds like this.
I don't even hear when you call my name. My time ain't cheap, this ain't for free. You tryna hit me up, but it ain't the same. Now it is clear to me.
So let me show you how you can achieve this delay sound, because it's extremely easy, and every tip that I'm going to show you in this video only requires the Studio Delay plugin that exists in Cubase. So what I have here is I have a ping pong delay. I've selected this pattern right here. I have it in dotted quarter notes, and let's see how it sounds.
I don't even hear when you call my name. My time ain't cheap, this ain't for free.
So the first step that you need to do in order to create this 4-man delay sound is go here where we have the pitch effects in the Studio Delay and switch the pitch to 4-man. That's what you need to do. Then move the slider all the way down, and immediately you will get this really modern delay sound.
I don't even hear when you call my name. My time ain't cheap, this ain't for free. You tryna hit me up, but it ain't the same.
Now, what I always like to do is I like to make my delays a little bit darker. So what I'm doing is I'm filtering the top end with a filter bank here.
I don't even hear when you call my name. My time ain't cheap, this ain't for free.
And the second thing I like to do is I like to add a little bit of a long reverb to my delay. And this, again, is something that will allow this 4-man shifted delay to go a little bit in the background.
I don't even hear when you call my name. My time ain't cheap, this ain't for free. You tryna hit me up, but it ain't the same. Now it is clear to me.
Now, sometimes you might want to do the opposite. You want to go up 1 octave. You want to make the delay sound higher in pitch. In this case, you can move the slider all the way to 100%. But what I would do is I would go pitch and 4-man.
I don't even hear when you call my name. My time ain't cheap, this ain't for free.
Because if you just use 4-man, it might sound a little bit weird.
I don't even hear when you call my name. My time ain't cheap.
You know, I prefer it like this.
I don't even hear when you call my name. My time ain't...
Great, right? Now, the second tip I want to give you is something that we already use, and it's something that's extremely important when you try to make your delay sit well in the mix. And a great way to do this is add a little bit of reverb to your delays. Now, normally what you would need to do is you would need to send your delay to a send effect and then add another plugin after the delay so that you add a little bit of reverb. This you can do with literally 1 slider with a Studio Delay plugin in Cubase. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my slider here, and I'm going to go and show you the different algorithms. We have short.
I don't even hear when you call my name. My time ain't cheap, this ain't for free. You tryna hit me up, but it ain't the same.
So as you can see now, we still have a very clear delay line, but it's wrapped around this short reverb. So we still get those very distinct repeats, but because we have a short reverb, they get a little bit more mellow, they get a little bit more soft.
I don't even hear when you call my name.
Compared to...
My time ain't cheap, this ain't for free.
This can be very distracting in the context of a mix. Let's try the long, for example. I like the long, especially when I have big ballads, when I have productions that have a lower BPM. This allows you to fill the space between the vocal phrases.
I don't even hear when you call my name. My time ain't cheap, this ain't for free. You tryna hit me up, but it ain't the same. Now it is clear to me. I don't even hear when you call my name. My time ain't cheap,
and you can add to taste. Now I'm going to give you a little tip here. If you want to create interesting feedback effects, you can actually change the effect position from post to loop, and now we're going to get some very interesting feedback effects.
I don't even hear when you call my name. My time ain't cheap, this ain't for free.
Hear that? I love this. Sometimes I like bouncing this and rendering this in place and then creating a transition effect by stopping this reverb, delay, feedback loop very suddenly. Great tip. Try it out. You're gonna love it. And now I'm going to show you the third tip, which is a very simple one, but many people neglect it or forget it. And this is using dotted delay lines to add a rhythmic effect for guitar riffs, for synth riffs. Let's listen to this guitar riff. And now let's add a quarter note delay. And you can see I have quarter note here, but you will notice that this starts sounding a little bit congested. It starts to fight with the actual riff. Now, let's change this from quarter note to quarter note dotted and check how much of a rhythm we can add to this guitar riff. See, it's actually a rhythmic element behind this riff. And again, let's try it with just a quarter note delay. Doesn't really work, does it? Let's switch to a quarter dotted delay. And this trick has been used by guitarists, by many rock bands over the years, and it's still a great trick to use when you use delays. The next tip that I'm going to talk about allows you to add a lot of movement and create very interesting sounds with your delays, and this is by modulating them. And again, you can do this very easily with a studio delay in Cubase. Let's listen to this EP piano sound. Let's add some delay. And it sounds pretty cool. But what if we added some phaser modulation to this delay? Check it out. I can do this very easily by selecting phaser here and adding the modulation. And listen to how it sounds now. Before? Boring. Flanger. And chorus. So you can turn a really basic, really boring delay into something that swirls and moves and has a beautiful development while you're waiting for the next note to play. So definitely check out the modulation slider here on the studio delay, because it can make this delay sound like it came out of a guitar or electric piano pedal board. And tip number 5 is maybe one of the most important tips that I can give you when it comes to delays. I use this 99% of the time when I'm using a delay, and this is adding saturation, a little bit of tapage, and filtering. And let's have a listen. I'm going to go back to this vocal and I'm going to show you what happens when you just slap a delay on a vocal.
I don't even hear when you call my name. My time ain't cheap, this ain't for free.
And I can guarantee you a delay like this will be distracting in your mix. It will be in the way of the vocals. It will make your mix sound cluttered. So what can we do to help? The first thing you can do in studio delay is use this age slider right here, and this will immediately help. Check it out.
I don't even hear when you call my name. My time ain't cheap, this ain't for free. You tryna hit me up, but it ain't the same.
So this makes the delay sound more like a tape delay, it adds a little bit of variation, it makes it a little bit smoother, and it makes it a little bit more compact. The other thing that you can do is you can add a little bit of distortion. I might just add a touch of distortion, not too much. I'm using the overdrive here.
I don't even hear when you call my name. My time ain't cheap, this ain't for free. You tryna hit me up, but it ain't the same. Now it is clear to me.
Of course, if I want, I can overdo it.
I don't even hear when you call my name. My time ain't cheap, this ain't for free.
And of course, like I mentioned before, the filter bank is your friend. So I like to roll off the top end quite a bit. Sometimes I like to go down to even 2 kilohertz, sometimes even more. And then of course, I roll off the low end as well. Let's have a listen.
I don't even hear when you call my name. My time ain't cheap, this ain't for free. You tryna hit me up, but it ain't the same. Now it is clear to me. I don't even hear when you call my name. My time ain't cheap, this ain't for free. You tryna hit me up, but it ain't the same. Now it is clear to me.
So you can hear how much smoother and how much more organic the delay sounds when we add the edge, we add a tiny bit of distortion, and we also use the filter bank. And not only it sounds organic and it sounds better and mix ready, but also you get rid of these annoying S's that if you leave them in the mix, they're going to come back and haunt you. Check it out.
I don't even hear when you call my name. My time.
See, and this is not a very sibilant vocal, but if your vocal was very sibilant, you would hear and that's never nice. So roll it off, add a bit of edge, tiny bit of distortion if you want to.
I don't even hear when you call my name. My time.
And this way you add the delay to its golden little pocket in the mix. And this is my final tip for you. So there you go. These are 5 delay tips that would normally take you several plugins to create, all done with Cubase's Studio Delay. Have fun mixing, and I will see you on the next episode of Cubase Secrets. Bye-bye.
Time ain't cheap, this ain't for free. You tryna hit me up, but it ain't the same. Now it is clear to me. I don't even hear when you call my name. My time ain't cheap, this ain't for free. You tryna hit